Hello and welcome to our debut episode of the podcast, in which we will be offering a narrated version of our open source newsletter that we send out on a weekly basis, in which has a look at everything going on in the UK and world of cyber security. It's the first week of January, and in today's episode we shall be covering cyber attack on UK Defence Academy caused significant damage, US CISA Crowdstrike release free Log4j scanners, Apple patched a macOS Gatekeeper Bypass vulnerability, SpiderMan No Way Home pirated downloads contain crypto mining malware, and multiple Riskware apps flood Samsung's Galaxy Store. So there we go, and let's get cracking straight into it. The first article is dated January 2nd, 2022. A cyber attack on the UK's Defence Academy caused significant damage, a retired high-ranking officer has revealed. Air Marshal Edward Stringer, who left the armed forces in August, told Sky News the attack, which was discovered in March 2021, meant the Defence Academy was forced to rebuild its network. He said he did not know if criminals or a hostile state such as China, Russia, Iran or North Korea were responsible, but the damage has yet to be fully rectified months on, Sky reported. Stringer said it could have been any of those, or it could have just been someone trying to find a vulnerability for a ransomware attack that was just, a genuine criminal organisation. He added, there were costs to operational output. There were opportunity costs in what our staff could have been doing when they were having to repair this damage, and what we could be spending the money on that we've had to bring forward to rebuild the network. There are no bodies in the street, but there's still some damage done. Sky News reported that no sensitive information was stored on the Academy's network. The school, based in Shrivenham, Oxfordshire, teaches 28,000 military personnel, diplomats and civil servants a year, and moved more online during the pandemic. In the interview with Sky, the first since he left the military, Stringer said unusual activity was first discovered by contractors working for outsourcing company Serco, and alarm bells started ringing. He told the outlet there were external agents on our network who looked like they were there for what looked pretty quickly like nefarious reasons. But he disclosed that the attack was not successful. And while the hackers may have been using the Academy as a backdoor to other Ministry of Defence systems, there were no breaches beyond the school. Stringer, who was also Director General for Joint Forces Development and led the military thinking about how it would adapt to the future of warfare, said the attack fell into a so-called grey zone of harm, which falls below the threshold of war, according to Sky News. The site, which is much like a domain for a university, had to be completely rebuilt, a task which is still ongoing, Sky said. The National Cyber Security Centre, a branch of GCHQ, was also made aware of the hack, Sky News reported. An MOD spokesperson said, in March 2021, we were made aware of an incident impacting the Defence Academy IT infrastructure. We took swift action and there were no impact on the wider Ministry of Defence IT network. Teaching at the Defence Academy has continued, and that article can be found on the Guardian website. US CISA Crowdstrike release free Log4j scanners. This article is dated December 28th, 2021. As the Log4j vulnerability continues to haunt the internet world, more bug scanners have surfaced online to help prevent real-time exploits. Recently, the US CISA and Crowdstrike have also separately released Log4j vulnerability scanners for free. The US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, has recently released a Log4j scanning tool. As announced from its official Twitter account, US CISA intends to help organizations proactively detect and address Log4j vulnerabilities with this open source scanner. Regarding the scanning tool available on GitHub, CISA explained, the information and code provided in this repository is provided as is, and was assembled with the help of the open source community and updated by CISA through collaboration with the broader cybersecurity community. Likewise, Crowdstrike has also released a Log4j vulnerability scanner to help the cybersecurity community. They have also put up their tool as open source on GitHub. Identifying this tool as CAST, which stands for CrowdStrike Archive Scan Tool, the firm explained that this tool could scan different directories for vulnerable Log4j versions. Elaborating on this tool in a blog post, CrowdStrike stated, "The free CrowdStrike tool, dubbed the CrowdStrike Archive Scan Tool, or CAST, performs a targeted search by scanning a given set of directories for JAR, WAR, ZIP, and EAR files, and then it performs a deeper scan of those file types, matching against a known set of checksums for Log4j libraries. CAST searches for approximately 6,500 SHA-256 checksums unique to the known vulnerable releases. It will walk the files or directories scanning inside of zip format archives to find every instance of these. The firm believes that this tool will facilitate organizations to scan their systems as it supports multi-platform capability. Specifically, CAST works on Windows, macOS, and Linux alike. Before these scanners, Google also added a Log4j detection functionality in its OSS Fuzz tool. Hence, users now have multiple ways to detect vulnerable Log4j instances affecting their systems. Also, users must ensure updating to Log4j version 2.17.0 at the earliest to receive the patch against the devastating Log4 shell vulnerability. And that article was from the latest hacking news. Apple patched a macOS Gatekeeper Bypass vulnerability. This article is from December 28th, 2021. The Cupertino giant has addressed a severe Gatekeeper Bypass vulnerability affecting macOS devices. Exploiting the flaw could allow attackers to deploy malicious apps even on a fully patched system. Elaborating on the vulnerability in a blog post, Patrick Wardle highlighted how the Gatekeeper Bypass flaw risked macOS security. Gatekeeper is a security check feature in macOS that validates app notarization and developer signature for incoming apps. These security measures ensure keeping malicious apps and malware away from macOS. As described, the vulnerability CVE 2021-30853 first caught the attention of Gordon Long. Briefly, this bug could allow an unsigned, unnotarized app to run on a target device. While Wardle has explained the bug and the POC exploit in detail in his post, summarizing the issue, he stated, "When a script-based application with no specific interpreter is launched, execution initially fails with eno-exec. This causes the script to be re-executed via /bin/sh, as /bin/sh is a macho, not a script. No script labels are set. Thus, the script is never evaluated nor blocked by syspolicyd. The policy engine just sees /bin/sh, a trusted platform binary, and thus allows it to execute. Of course, /bin/sh then executes the POC script. That's the exact vulnerability. The unsigned POC gets executed despite lacking notarization. The researchers confirmed that Apple had patched the vulnerability with macOS Big Sur 11.6, mentioning this bug's impact in the advisory. Apple stated, "A malicious application may bypass gatekeeper checks." The tech giant confirmed to have fixed the flaws with improved checks. Since the updates rolled out in September 2021, most users would have received the fix already. Nonetheless, those who haven't updated their devices yet should now rush to receive the updates, especially considering that the POC for this serious exploit is now public. The source of this article was the latest hacking news. SpiderMan No Way Home pirated downloads contain crypto mining malware. I'm not going to go into the full article on this one just because it seems to repeat itself quite a lot. But essentially, people are illegally downloading Spider-Man, well, thinking they are anyway, but actually what they're doing is downloading some malware. This malware, when a user downloads the file, the code adds exclusions to Windows Defender to stop you from tracking its actions, spawns watchdogs for protection, and creates persistence. The overall purpose of the malware is to mine a kind of cryptocurrency called Monero. XMR, one of the more untraceable and anonymous cryptocurrencies used frequently in the dark web. Users afflicted by the malware may not immediately notice any change to their computer. However, as the technology draws on your CPU power, you may begin to see a reduction in speed and problems with your overall computer functionality. Additionally, the damage is likely to eventually show up in an electricity bill too, as devices need to draw extra power for the mining. On a personal note, a quick fix to avoid this ever happening is just go to the cinema to watch Spider-Man, something I would definitely recommend you doing if you haven't done so already. But another clear example of how attackers are tapping into the zeitgeist and using trends to trick individuals into giving them exactly what they want. And now we're on to the last article. Well done for staying with us. We are nearly there. Multiple Riskware apps flood Samsung's Galaxy Store. December 30th, 2021, this article was written. Heads up, Samsung phone users. Researchers have discovered numerous Riskware apps flooding the Samsung's App Store, Galaxy Store, that Google Play Store blocks already. Riskware apps on Samsung Galaxy Store. According to a recent report from Android's police, Samsung's official app store, the Galaxy Store, lists numerous Riskware applications. Samsung is one of the few Android phone makers that offer separate app stores together with the Google Play Store. While such app stores provide more opportunity for users to try different apps, there always remain security risks in such cases. That's what the Max Weinbach of Android Police just demonstrated. As reported, some of those risky apps cloning Showbox-based apps trigger warnings when attempting to download the Play Store. However, these apps generally exhibit a low detection rate on VirusTotal. An analysis of one of the Showbox apps at VirusTotal shows over a dozen low-grade alerts from security vendors ranging from Riskware to adware. Some of the apps also request more permissions than you'd expect, including access to contacts, call logs, and the telephone. Then, further analysis from the Android security analyst LinuxCT showed that the app didn't include malicious elements apparently. Nonetheless, it does possess a dynamic code that may make the app go rogue anytime by executing other codes. Samsung hasn't commented on this matter until the time of writing, therefore it remains unclear if the tech giant is aware of this matter and whether or not it will make any subsequent actions in this regard. So for now, Samsung users should avoid downloading any apps from unknown developers from the Galaxy Store. In fact, users should ideally use caution when trying new apps regardless of the source app store. They should rather prefer downloading apps from legit developers only. That too, after verifying developers' information and checking customers' reviews. And that article is from Latest Hacking News. There we go. Thank you very much for listening to this first episode. We hope you've enjoyed this format and we'll see you on the next.